Okay, Shalom, this brother Kadash, giving all praises to you. How Bahashim Yahweh. This is part two. I'm just going to title it Yasharahla, part two, right? So what we was going on, we was going in the spirit of how we actually have to have action. It can't just be, well, I'm just teaching. Because, I mean, I could give you so many examples, man. Even when you look at Yahweh, was Yahweh just teaching? No, he was not teaching. Yahweh was healing. He was feeding. You know, a person, he was feeding people. That's like equivalent to a grocery store. You feed that many people, that's equivalent to a grocery store. He was healing people. That's equivalent to a doctor. Right? The apostles' doctrine, which we went over in part one. You got to check out part one. Everybody putting everything they got, selling all their possessions and putting it into a pot, and the Lord adding to the church daily, and they parting out as every man need. What's that called today? That's called a bank. That's what a bank is. You got depositors that deposit money, and then the bank will loan out that money that's been deposited back to, they ain't gonna loan it out back to us, not the Israelites, but they'll loan it out to the other nations to fund their businesses and stuff like that, or get a house. If you go to the bank, you get a loan to buy a house, you're not getting the money just from the people that work at the bank, they money, or from the government. No, you're getting a loan from all the members of that bank and the depositors that deposit money into that bank. You're getting a loan against that money, and then you're taking it out. That's why Esau won't give us loans, because majority of that money that the depositors make up in that bank is probably Edomites. So they ain't finna let you as an Israelite come here and get these Edomites money to go start you a business or buy you a house. They finna deny you most of the time. That's how a bank works. So that's exactly what Acts 2, the last 5 verses of Acts 2, that's exactly what it's talking about, bank. You see what I'm saying? But let's keep going. Revelations 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. We know that's talking about America. Well, the doctrine is that that's talking about America. It's saying that our Lord was crucified. They'll say, well, he wasn't crucified in America. How could he talk about America? We'll say it's spiritually. You crucify the Lord's image. You put up a white image instead of the Lord's image. You put up Caesar Borgia image instead of the Lord's image. And then even his way, you crucified it. You said you ain't got to keep the law, statutes, commandments. That's a part of the Lord's image, is the law, statutes, and commandments. So you crucified the Lord, the true Lord, for a fake Lord that the Edomites put up. You see what I'm saying? Caesar Borgia that the Edomites put up. Jesus who the Edomites put up. Christians is some of the, it's mind-blowing. When you've been in this truth so long, bro, it's mind-blowing. How the hell vocab alone? I'm supposed to look at you as you got the truth and you rebuking the Israelites. Then we ask you something very simple. What's the Lord's name? You respond and say Jesus. When you say that, all your credibility go out the window forever, bro. Because his name is not Jesus. I mean, I don't have to prove that. It's a fact that his mama did not name him Jesus. So if you're really a scholar, why don't you do the work? If you say, well, yeah, his mama, vocab, what did the Messiah, what did his mom name him? If you say Yeshua, right? If you say that, then I will ask you, then why don't you refer to him as that? Why are you referring to him as Jesus? Where did the Jesus name come from? Where did that start at? And why are you referring to him as that? Now, if you reading the Bible and it says Jesus and you're just reading it as it says and you says Jesus, that's different. But when you pray, why would you pray to a name that you know that his mother did not name him? That's a fact. Right? But over here in America, his image was crucified because America went around the world crucifying his image, giving the world a false image. And then America comes from Great Britain, so we understand this leads back to Caesar Borgia, which is the image they put up in the name Jesus, all come from, that lineage, Edomite lineage, we'll say. So they went around the world crucifying that because Esau ultimately is going to be responsible because they sit at the head. That's why the Lord said when he come back, he coming for the crown. So who's sitting on the kingdom? Who kingdom is it right now? Who's sitting on the chair? Who's sitting on the throne of the world right now? Well, you say America, we say the white people in America, we say the Edomites. And then you will go, you'll say the small hats, which is them all together, unified. You say the EU nations, you will say NATO. You would say that, right? So that's who's going to be responsible, because you're the one in charge. You the top dog. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we go to America and say, look, this place is responsible because this place is the top. This is the place that sits at the top. So, but what do we liken America to? Egypt. So what happened in the past in Egypt when the Lord delivered us? During the time of Moses, the Israelites came together and left out, and they were led out by the Lord, and the Lord added to them, and He was there for them. Kind of seems like that's the same thing that we need to do today. It's right there for us as an example. You know, so let's go to another precept. And this is just a little backstory. Exodus 14, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, that they turn in a camp before, this is going to be hard, Phiraoth, between Migdal and the sea, over against Bazephion, before it shall ye accamp by the sea. So the Lord was like, man, get ready, pretty much. Go and camp together, get ready. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, and the wilderness has shut them in. Now you might say, well, we got to wait till the Lord tell us to leave out and camp. But the Lord didn't tell him directly. He told it to Moses. So that's the spirit. It's going to come by man. We call it the house of David, and King David is going to come back and lead us out. That's what they say. That's part of the doctrine. So that's how it's going to happen. Men are going to come together and say, look, man, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Now, that could be when all hell break loose, when things get worse. But all hell been broke loose, man. Look at the state of this world. This shit is crazy right now. We already a part of all hell breaking loose. What you want to do? Wait until it gets the worst that it can get to the peak, and then we gonna do something? Like, come on, man. It says, for Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel that they are entangled in the land, and the wilderness has shut them in. So this is why the spirit been on me, because it's the same thing you see with America. That's the scary part. That's what these leaders are scared of. They don't want us to come together and make no moves because they scared of Esau. Hey man, don't do that. You gonna make Esau come after all of us. You gonna blame the ministry. Hey man, we told y'all not. I remember, and these are good guys because I met them. WFI was in Chicago. I remember camps was, man, they blaming the ministry. Man, they going out there, they out there fighting against the heathen. We're not supposed to be doing that right now. You niggas so scared of Esau doing something to us. It's gonna happen. We cannot get out of here without Esau coming after us, man. Read Revelation chapter 12. It's gonna happen. But they so scared. And when I talked to the brother and we was briefly talking about that situation, I just told him straight up, man, where there's no law, there's no sin. I said, you brothers ain't do nothing wrong, because there's no law that's telling you that you guys couldn't do that. So you ain't in no sin. If you ain't in sin, I can't say shit about what y'all decided to do as grown men, because you not in sin. That's not my place. I'm not your master. I'm not, you see what I'm saying? That's not my place to talk. If you ain't did a sin, it ain't my place to talk about it. If y'all want to go out to Chicago and y'all want to sit there and teach the truth around the heathen, and the heathen get to spitting on y'all, throwing bottles, and if y'all want to square up and smite the heathen, you could do that, because there's no law that said that they couldn't do it. That's what it come down to. And that's why I don't get into all these camps. They get into semantics. Semantic this, semantic that, this person said this, our leader said this. It's all semantics. Break it down. Let's break it down. Let's get down to the bread and butter. Is it a law against it? Was it a sin what they did? Period. Bread and butter. If you approach everything like that, was it a sin? Then it should be so simple for you. Right? So, same thing. That's what everybody's scared of, because they know if a lot of blacks come together, I think Marcus Garvey tried to do this, Malcolm X tried to do it basically, Martin Luther King tried to do it basically. Anytime you get a lot of blacks coming together, we know Esau not going to let us leave. Well, Esau going to come stop us. He going to come kill us. He going to come lock us up. The FBI. But then that's when your faith kicks in. Okay, yeah, we know Esau going to come. But guess what? Yahushua gonna come too, because that was promised that he was gonna return. So Yahushua gonna come. We want him to come, because when they come, they gonna meet the Lion of Judah. You see what I'm saying? But all the excuses in the world, man. So, but let's see what happened during the time of Moses, right? In Egypt. Verse 4. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart that he shall follow after them. That same thing that happened if all the Hebrew Israelites came and we was like, man, we out of here. We finna go into the wood. We ain't got to leave America. Or he talk. That's that flee of Babylon doctrine. We ain't got to flee America. We could just go into the wilderness in America. We ain't got to live all in the cities and everything. Well, how you gonna teach the truth? How you gonna teach the truth? How you gonna wake up the elect? Hey, we don't wake up the elect. The Lord wakes up the elect. You have no power if a person comes into this truth and if they elect or not. You have no power. And nobody that you know or no leader that you look up has no power to do that. That's all the Lord. It says, I will harden Pharaoh's heart that he shall follow after them, and I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people, and they said, why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? What state are we in America? We're the slaves, we're the servants, we're at the bottom. You got Donald Trump, which is the new leader of America, talking about immigrants coming over and taking black people's job. What is black people's job? What does that consist of? Serving. It's the same scenario. And the story is right here of how to get out of it. I can see it right now. Boy, you let some Israelites come together, hundreds of thousands, even millions, and go into the wilderness, or in just, even if we went to just communities together, man, Esau gonna come, so his heart gonna drop. The elites that's behind the scenes that's running things, they gonna say, what's happening? Their heart gonna drop. Oh, we gotta stop that. They gonna get too powerful. Right? It's same exact thing as Pharaoh. Same. That's why I read that it likened this place to Sodom and likened this place to Egypt. Spiritually, Egypt. It's doing it. The Bible is doing that for a reason. It's telling you this place just like Egypt, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, just like Babylon. This place is all those things. It's mystery Babylon. Verse 6. And he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. Esau gonna get on them jets so fast, boy. Them planes, buses, squad cars. He gonna get on that shit so fast and come after us, boy, to stop that, to see what the hell we doing. Same as Pharaoh did in Egypt. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with a high hand. See, he pursued, but what did the children of Israel do during that time? We in the same exact state, just worser, but we in the, well, maybe this, it depends. You can make an argument, but we in the same exact state pretty much. But what did the children of Israel do? They came together, they had to come together, and then they went out. Walking distance. We can't walk out of America unless we went to like Canada or Mexico. But we could go into the wilderness in America. There's a lot of wilderness out there. Most of America is wilderness. The cities make up little small parts. When you travel on the highway, you're going to see all that vacant land out there. For miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. I told you I was a trucker. I've been all over the country. I've seen more vacant land ever than I've seen of, cities and stuff. When I was trucking, that's one thing that, about trucking. Man, boy, when I used to be trucking going out to college, I was like, man, look at all this fucking land just sitting here vacant. Been vacant for hundreds of years, just sitting here. I was like, why we just don't come out here and start our own city? That's, before I got in the truth. But this is what the children, I'm just telling you what our ancestors did when they was in our same position. You take it for what you want. I'm just telling you what our ancestors did when they was in the same position we in today. You say, well, we got to wait for Yahushua to come back. Hey, Yahushua was with us during this time. He was with our ancestors during this time. The same way he going to be with us during our time. Well, we got doctrines that say the chariot, the fire by night, the cloud by day. The Yahushua was in that chariot. We got doctrines that say it was a chariot that descended on the mountain and Yahushua was in there. We got doctrines that say Yahushua was the one that smite the firstborn of all the sons in Egypt during the Passover. It was Yahushua that was there. That's what we believe. So Yahushua was there. But what happened if you look at that story? Moses came, became prophet. Just summarizing it. The people came together eventually. Moses went back and forth with Pharaoh. Then Moses led his people out. Right, and then before that, that's when Yahushua came with the Passover, did what he did. And then after that, we went out. We went out. And then guess who met us in the wilderness when we was out? The Lord. He was there. He met us there. Because that was the whole thing with Moses going to Pharaoh. Let us go. Let me go out to the desert to worship my Lord. And then the Lord was there. Same thing. This is what our ancestors did when they was in the same position we in. So I feel like if we do the same exact thing, we get the same results. Which means what? We going back to the land. But this time it's going to be a kingdom. Because after Moses, eventually down the line, what happened? We had a kingdom. We had a kingdom during King Saul's time first. Came down in King David. Came down in King Solomon. On and on. We had kingdom. We did have a kingdom. But hey, that's my piece. With that, I'm going to say salvation to you, Yasharahla.